had like a little run-in with some coyotes this morning, right, Luca? And they were at the edge of the property, and they were yipping and howling, and the dogs ran out there, and I freak out because my parents' dog that's bigger than Luca got killed by coyotes. You know, a lot of dogs that got killed by coyotes. So I got the little guys in. The little guys got safe. Bradley ran in, and Hudson was quiet, and Luca ran all the way to the fence line, and he was a good boy. He didn't bark, but he just stood at the fence line, which is like acres away. And so I had to run after him, and I got kind of mad they didn't come when I called, but he still was a good boy, not barking, and we were just kind of talking about it, and he didn't understand, right, Luca? You said you didn't understand why the animals, those dogs didn't have their people with them, right? It was pitch black. He didn't understand why their people weren't there. Yeah, and then I didn't understand, like, why they were barking at us. You didn't understand why they were barking at you. Like, why were they sleeping outside? And why were they sleeping outside? So we talked about how they're wild animals. And he asked me if they were, why is it okay that he can look at the fox through the fence but not the coyotes? So I had to explain that the coyotes can be really dangerous. The fox, I told him, I don't want them to be saying hi to the fox outside of the, like in the same fence line as them. Like outside of the fence, that's fine. But I don't want them saying hi to the fox when the fox is in our fence line. That wouldn't be a good idea, I don't think. Then I had to cancel Pilates because I was running late, because I had to run out and save the dogs. Yeah, and then like, you just lectured me. And then he says I lectured him. That's true. I did lecture you. Like, I still don't understand, like, why that they bark so much at us. You didn't understand why they bark so much at you? Honey, they bark so much at you, honey, because they don't want you to come outside. They think that you guys can jump the fence because they can jump the fence really easily, so they think you guys can jump the fence. Because the coyotes say to me all the time, like, or keep your dogs in the fence. Don't let them jump the fence. So they think you can jump the fence. Yeah, but we wouldn't. But you wouldn't. I know you wouldn't. Like, I just feel, like, really stressed out. You don't look like you're stressed out. But I do. I feel really stressed out. Why do you feel really stressed out? Because I just think that these coyotes, like, need a mom. You think these coyotes need a mom? These coyotes do have doggy moms. They have other coyote moms. So they have families, honey. They're just all coyote families. They just don't have people in their families. But the coyotes don't care. They don't care that they don't think they're missing people. Yeah, that just seems wrong to me. It just seems wrong to you? Yeah, I could see where that could seem wrong to you. But again, honey, they're wild animals. And wild animals don't have people mommies. But like the fox does. The fox does? Yeah, like our neighbor. Our neighbor is their mommy. That the neighbor really isn't the mommy, though. They just became friends. They're just kind of friends. But it's not his mommy. Are you sure? Because, like, I think he gets, like, food from her. He gets food from her? I know. Really, you really shouldn't feed wild animals. It's confusing, I know. Yeah, and then what about horses? They have mommies and they live outside. That's right. He says, what about horses? They have mommies and they live outside. That's true. Horses do have mommies. But not all horses have mommies. There are some wild horses. There are some that are wild that don't have mommies. Like, I don't know how you can tell. You don't know how you can tell? Just by asking them, maybe. Like, how do I know that's not like a dog that needs a home? How do you know that's just not a dog that needs a home? Honey, I think you could tell, but those coyotes, they have more like, they're kind of like, they're badass, honey. They might like, like they could fight you and stuff. And they, you don't want to befriend them. You got to keep yourself safe. Yeah, and like I could befriend them from afar. You could befriend them from afar. I'm okay with that. But not but like afar, like 30 feet afar. Okay? Or from the inside the house afar. I'm just really curious about coyotes. You're really curious about coyotes? Yeah, but I don't want you to be too curious. You gotta leave them alone, all right? Yeah, like sometimes I think about being wild. Sometimes you think about being wild. That's because in your past life, honey, you were a wolf hybrid. So you were kind of wild in your past life. Yeah, like I'm not wild now. No, you're not wild now. You're very domesticated, which you can tell. All right, bud. I love you. Yeah, Mom, I'm really curious. What are you really curious about? Like how to like not be afraid of coyotes and live with them nicely. How to not be afraid of coyotes and live with them nicely? You just stay away from them and you don't go running near them. That's how you do that, because it's very dangerous, especially with Eastern Felix, because they could eat Eastern Felix. So that's why it's really, really important. And I told you that I know coyotes who have killed dogs bigger than you. So I just don't want you to trust them, okay? You can live in harmony with them just by staying away from the fence line at night and in the morning. Yeah, and just like saying hey. And just saying hey. Buddy, you're not getting it. If you're saying hey, you do it from inside the house, all right? Like you're not really one to like really care about like being friends with other dogs, and now you want to be friends with the coyotes? That's a little weird. Yeah, but I love a challenge. You love a challenge? Buddy, that's not a good challenge to take on. Take on being friends with the fox. You can be friends with the fox, honey. That can be a good challenge. You can stop barking at the fox and be friends with him. Okay? Yeah, I'll really do that. Okay, I'm looking forward to that. Okay.
Every time I count my blessings, I count you first. Every time I count my blessings,